From our Chicago studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Samana Siddiqui. Stephen Miller says the United States has the right to use its military to take over any country to secure its interests. This and more in today's news. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is warning that Venezuela's future must be decided by its own people, not by Washington. Speaking to reporters, Jeffries said Americans do not want the Trump administration running another country. He called such actions a violation of international law. His comments came after President Donald Trump claimed U.S. military action led to the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and First Lady Celia Flores, and suggested temporary U.S. control of the country. In the Senate, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer echoed the criticism, saying the administration's plan was vague and troubling. Schumer announced a bipartisan push to force a vote to block further U.S. military action without Congress's consent. Stephen Miller says the United States has the right to use its military to take over any country to secure its interests. Speaking on CNN Monday evening, the top White House advisor said Washington is acting unapologetically in its own hemisphere. He said the United States is a superpower and under President Donald Trump will conduct itself as one.
The United States, this is sort of foundational. The United States is using its military to secure our interests unapologetically in our hemisphere. We're a superpower, and under President Trump, we are going to conduct ourselves as a superpower.
The remarks drew a strong response from Senator Bernie Sanders, former Democratic presidential candidate and one of the most prominent critics of U.S. foreign policy. Sanders said this is what imperialism is all about. He said such thinking risks repeating the mistakes of the past and undermining America's global standing. Miller is one of Trump's most influential advisors. He was a key architect of the travel ban targeting several Muslim-majority countries during Trump's first term. He remains deeply involved in shaping current U.S. immigration policy. An Israeli newspaper has ranked Miller among the world's most influential Jewish figures, the top one being Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The Pentagon is moving to formally censure Arizona Senator Mark Kelly after comments Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth calls dangerous and seditious. Hegseth says Kelly and 5 other Democratic lawmakers released a video urging troops and intelligence officers to refuse unlawful orders. Hegseth argues the message undermines military discipline. He announced a formal letter of censure and a review of Kelly's retired Navy rank and pension. Kelly is a retired Navy captain and still receives military pay. Under federal law, a reduction in rank would also cut retirement benefits. Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene has officially left Congress. Her exit follows a public clash with President Donald Trump over the release of files linked to convicted child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Greene's resignation took effect Monday, midway through her third term. She accuses Trump of blocking transparency and reversing course on the issue. Trump responded by publicly mocking Greene and welcomed her exit, calling it good news for the country. Greene had been one of Trump's loudest allies, which observers say made the split all the more striking. The Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, says a Hilton-branded hotel in Minnesota rejected bookings from Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, officers. When trying to book, the agents had used official government email addresses and federal lodging rates. DHS shared screenshots of hotel staff saying they would not allow ICE personnel to stay at the property. The hotel's owner, Everest Hospitality, later issued an apology saying alternative accommodations are being arranged. The incident comes as the Trump administration ramps up immigration enforcement in the state. While federal officials have accused members of the Somali community of large-scale fraud, local officials argue the investigations unfairly single out immigrants. A government employee in Salem, Oregon, says she was fired for wearing a T-shirt showing a historic image relating to the civil rights movement. Beth Schmidt worked for the Mid-Willamette Valley Council of Governments. Her T-shirt showed the image of a famed Norman Rockwell painting that depicts 6-year-old Ruby Bridges walking to school under federal protection as racist graffiti appears on the wall behind her. Bridges was instrumental in integrating a New Orleans public school in the 1960s. Schmidt says she wore the shirt during a planning meeting with no children present and stopped wearing it after a complaint. However, she was fired days later for creating what the school's administration called low morale. The Trump administration has overhauled the federal childhood vaccine schedule, triggering sharp criticism from leading medical groups. Details after the break, so stay tuned.
My name is Layla. I was an average kid until Zula Inc. broke into my life because my dad discovered time travel. After that, everything changed.
You're the new girl Layla, right?
Whoa! What if I don't fit in?
Abdullah!
Do I hear my name?
Oh!
Welcome to Vancouver, cuz.
Whoa! Whoa!
You four have been specially chosen to take our project into the next generation.
You can time travel?
Abdullah! No! Abdullah! Where?
Do you really think I don't know why we had to leave Seattle, Mama?
Now here, keep these close. These should never leave your wrist.
This virtual reality game is crazy. You can even eat. This is reality, buddy. We zoomed through a wormhole.
Oh no! My Go Watch! It's gone!
What does this do?
That's Al-Khwarizmi. You know, the father of mathematics. It's because of him we have algorithms.
I will not stop until your legacy, everyone's legacy, lies in ruins. Of course it was you. You little rascals ruined everything.
Your fate will be great. Just don't give up.
Time Hoppers.
The Trump administration has overhauled the federal childhood vaccine schedule, triggering sharp criticism from leading medical groups. The changes follow a directive from President Donald Trump to review vaccine practices in other developed countries. The review was led by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. and Acting CDC Director Jim O'Neill. But doctors warn that the process lacked transparency and scientific rigor. American Medical Association trustee Sandra Adamson Freihofer says the changes put millions of children at risk and could erode public trust in vaccines. The American Academy of Pediatrics also condemned the move. President Andrew Racine has warned the new guidance drops routine shots for diseases like hepatitis, flu, and RSV. Israeli soldiers killed at least 4 Palestinians, including a child, in an airstrike targeting a tent sheltering displaced families in southern Gaza on Monday evening. Several others were wounded. The strike hit the Al-Mawasi area west of Khan Yunis, a zone where civilians had sought refuge. That area was supposed to be protected under the Israel-Hamas ceasefire that took effect on October 10th. The Israeli military says the strike targeted a member of Hamas, but has released no evidence to support the claim. Gaza's health ministry reports that Israel has killed more than 400 Palestinians since the truce began. Israel's genocide in Gaza has killed at least 71,400 Palestinians, most of them women and children. Nearly 65,000 people have fled Sudan's Kordofan region after weeks of heavy fighting. The International Organization for Migration, or IOM, reports that growing insecurity has forced civilians to leave their homes over the past 3 months. In a statement released Monday, the agency said approximately 64,890 people were displaced between October 25th and December 30th. Field teams recorded 56 separate displacement incidents during that period. Most were in South Kordofan, followed by North Kordofan. One incident was reported in West Kordofan. Approximately 21,800 people were displaced from South Kordofan. The IOM says the figures are preliminary and could rise as fighting continues. The violence pits the Sudanese army against the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. The civil war between the two began in April 2023. It has killed thousands and forced millions of Sudanese to flee across the country. Monday marked the 77th anniversary of the 1949 UN resolution guaranteeing the right to self-determination for the Muslim-majority region of Jammu and Kashmir. Annual observance of January 5th as the Right to Self-Determination Day is held in Pakistan and Pakistan-controlled Kashmir, as well as by Kashmiris worldwide. The former princely state, which is now divided between India, Pakistan, and a small portion which is under Chinese control, has yet to be allowed to decide its political future. Pakistan says that it accepts the principle of a UN-mandated plebiscite on Kashmir self-determination and wants its implementation. India has rejected the idea for more than 7 decades, a stance Pakistan says has fueled prolonged conflict and instability in the region. Pakistani President Asif Ali Zardari said UN commitments made in 1949 remain legally and morally binding despite the passage of time. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif said lasting peace in South Asia is impossible without resolving Kashmir. He urged the international community to press India to halt human rights violations in Indian-administered Kashmir and allow Kashmiris to exercise their right to self-determination. Sharif said Pakistan will continue to raise the issue at all international forums. More than 30 Muslim hikers have completed a demanding trek to Mount Everest base camp, raising more than $67,000 for charity along the way. The expedition was led by Harun Mota, founder of the UK-based group Muslim Hikers. The group reached base camp despite freezing temperatures and thin air at high altitude. The challenge supported Charity Right, which works to provide school meals and fight child hunger. Mota said the journey was especially tough this year as he took part while suffering from long COVID and later developed a chest infection and fever. At one point, he was close to being evacuated by helicopter. All 33 hikers still made it to base camp. Participants traveled from the UK, the United States, Australia, and the Middle East. Another Everest trek is planned for November and is already fully booked. Muslim Hikers was set up to encourage diversity and inclusion in outdoor adventure. A major medical breakthrough could change how doctors treat arthritis and joint damage. Researchers at Stanford Medicine say an experimental anti-aging drug helped regrow knee cartilage in older mice. The treatment works by blocking a protein linked to aging known as 15-PGDH. Scientists found the injection reversed natural cartilage loss and restored joint function. It also prevented arthritis after knee injuries. Human cartilage samples taken during knee replacement surgeries responded in a similar way. The tissue began forming new, healthy cartilage in the lab. That raises hope that knee and hip replacements could one day become unnecessary. Osteoarthritis affects 1 in 5 adults in the United States and costs billions each year. There's currently no drug that can stop or reverse cartilage loss. That's all from our Chicago studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. Please donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Salam.